Good afternoon, students. Please confirm. Am I audible? All right. Are we good to go now? We can start, I hope. All right. I hope everyone is clear with the concept of membership. Hmm? Section 2, subsection 55, definition of member. So let me remind you guys that what did we learn in the last session. So if you remember guys, these all are the topics we completed in the last session, the membership. What is the definition of membership that we learned under section 2, subsection 55. Then we learned about the difference between members and the shareholder. Then we also learned about the different modes of acquiring the membership in the company, including like application, subscribing to the memorandum of association, then estoppel and the transfer, and as being the beneficial owner in the records of depositories. All these concepts I hope clear in everyone's mind. Okay. Now the new topic what we are going to learn, that is the who can become member in the company. Who can become member in the company? All right, that is the next topic to be learned here. Before I start, let's learn about the different points. Write down. We are going to learn about these many points who can become members in the company. The first one is, what about company? What about company? Second, you write down, what about partnership firm? Partnership firm. Third is, what about LLP? What about section 8 company? Next is, what about foreigners? After then, what about minor? What about insolvent? What about pawnee? What about receiver? All right. And trade union and trust. And the last topic here is about GDR holder. GDR holder. Many times it is observed that in exam they can ask you any of the topics for 1 or 2 marks. 1 or 2 marks. All right. So let's discuss about it. What do you think about the company? Can company become member in another company? What is your opinion? Can one company become member in another company? Understand. Basically, every person, everyone who has the personality, everyone who has the legal personality has the right to become member in another company. Okay, so obviously company can become member in another company. So there is nothing wrong if TCS Limited has invested shares in Infosys Limited. Such things are possible. There is nothing wrong in that. There is nothing wrong in that. You see, TCS Limited has the separate legal existence. It has the separate legal personality. So it can very well become member in Infosys Limited. But what about the partnership firm? What about the partnership firm? Can partnership firm become member in another company? What do you think about it? So fundamentally speaking, guys, the answer to this question will be no. Because if you look at partnership firm does not have any legal existence. It does not have any legal existence. It's not like a company. All of you know, guys, the partners and the partner both are same only, and that is why the partners have the unlimited liability. So partnership firm cannot become member in another company except one. All right. sometimes there's a question, suppose Reliance Foundation, it is a company which is registered under Section 8. I think all of you know what is Section 8, right? And there is a partnership firm called Neha and Associates. And this partnership firm wants to become member under this company. So can Neha and Associates become member in Reliance Foundation? So what many students are assuming, no, sir, it is a partnership firm, sir, and partnership firm does not have any separate legal existence. Then how can it be, sir? Sir, how can it be the member in the Section 8 company? That is what you need to understand, that generally partnership firm is not allowed to become member in any company except a Section 8 company. All right, except a Section 8 company. What does it mean? Partnership firm, even if it does not have any separate legal existence, it can become member in Section 8 company. All right, note it down. That partnership firm can become member only in Section 8 company. Don't ask me the logic about it. I don't have any logic. I don't have any logic. Maybe no any financial interest is involved. No any financial interest is involved. It is other than financial interest. Maybe just because of that, it is there. All right. So I hope company and the partnership from these 2 points are clear. What about the LLP now? Can LLP become member in another company? So here you have to answer only one question, that can I consider LLP as a separate legal existence person? Does it have the separate legal existence? Huh? So understand, partnership firm LLP, it has the separate legal existence, and that's why it is a body corporate, and anyone which has the personality can definitely become member in another company. So answer to this question here, LLP can become member in other company. What do you think about Section 8 company? Can Section 8 company become member in another company? It's a very interesting question. Huh? Can Section 8 company become member in another company? What do you think about it? क्या Section 8 कंपनी दूसरे कंपनी में बन सकती है? So answer would be yes as well as no. There is a condition. Write down over here the note for example. Note goes in this way: as far as the Section 8 is concerned, okay, Section 8 company can become member in another company only if it is permitted in its memorandum of association. So every company, before making any Section 8 company as the member, it has to read the memorandum of Section 8 company just to get to know that whether does it have any power mentioned in the Section 8 or not. If the power is not mentioned, then you cannot appoint, you cannot hire. Got it? Section 8 company. So I hope guys these 4 points are clear to everyone. Come on. Hello? Very good. Next point over here is about the foreigners. Whether foreigners can become shareholders in the member of Indian company. So understand, students, there is nothing wrong if you appoint the foreigners as our members. So कोई बुरा नहीं. कुछ भी गलत नहीं है वहां. So foreigners are definitely allowed to be members of the company, but there is just one small restriction, and that restriction is the war. Look, we cannot trust on the foreigners because at any point of time during the war, foreigner becomes alien enemy if he belongs to enemy country. Do you agree with that? Huh? Foreigner become alien enemy. वो दुश्मन बन सकते हैं, alien enemy बन सकते हैं. Got it? So as their alien enemy, even if they are the members, but they cannot enjoy the membership rights. So in the foreigner, there is only one limitation what you need to provide in your exam if there is a question, and that is that there is nothing wrong if the member of foreigner becomes a member in the company, but during the war, they are not allowed to enjoy their membership rights. Right down over here. Note for exam, there is no prohibition to appoint foreigners as the members of company in the Companies Act 2013. However, during the war, if such foreigner becomes alien enemy, he can not enjoy his membership rights. He cannot enjoy his membership rights. Got it? He cannot enjoy his membership rights. I hope it is clear. All right, let's go to the next point now. What about the minor? What about the minor? Can minor become minor is allowed? So fundamentally, you see, there are two ways to become a member in the company. The first point over here is either you are subscribing to the directly to the company, or you are getting the shares from secondary market. Alright, either you are getting the shares from primary market, or you are getting the shares from the secondary market. There are these two kinds of market from where you can get the shares. So fundamentally, all of you know that minor is not capable to enter into the contract, and that is why he's not allowed to become member as per IPO, but he can become transferee. He can become transferee. All right. So write down over here. Note: minor cannot become member of the company by way of subscription the shares, as he doesn't have any contractual capacity. However, he can become member as being transferee of the shares. All right. Now, the another point over here is if he can be transferee, again, there are 2 points. What if the shares are partly paid up? Now you understand, guys, if the shares are fully paid up, then there is no problem. But if there are partly paid up shares, then it is the issue for the company because minor is always beneficiary. So if these are the partly paid up shares, whether minor is liable for the shares at the time when company calls up the shares, what do you think about it? Huh? Answer will be no, not at all. Write down further, guys. It is to be noted that it is to be noted that minor In case of partly paid up shares, minor cannot be compelled to pay the liability. Minor is not liable for the liability, but the person who transferred the shares shall be held liable. This is very interesting point, but the person who has transferred the shares will be held liable on this. So this is all about the minority. Please write down. All right. Now there are certain case studies about this minor wala part. Let's discuss one by one. The first case study what I want to present before you, that is the Miss Nandita Jain versus Bennett Coleman and Company Limited, 1972. 1972. Appeal number 27. All right. This is the first case about the minority. And the second case, what I want to put over here, it is the Bombay High Court, 1920, Sadiq Ali versus Jay Kishori. There are two different cases. Now let's discuss these two different cases about these two. First one is the Miss Nandita Jain versus Bennett Coleman and Company Limited, appeal number 27, 1972. So what happened over here? This is the appellate tribunal case of that time. There was a minor, all right, and minor applied for the shares. Applied for the shares. Now you tell me, if he is applying for the shares as per the subscription, will he be allowed to enjoy the shares? Means like this contract will be valid or invalid? Answer the question. Will it be like this contract is valid or invalid? Invalid. Of course it is invalid. Because by anyhow, minor is not allowed to make the contract. So now the minor applied for the transfer of the shares because somebody had the shares and he wanted to buy this. So minor bought the shares. Bought the shares. But company rejected it. That's all, you are a minor. And that is why we do not want to transfer the shares to you. It is a good contention. So what a minor did is, minor appointed one guardian. Guardian, you understand, right? Minor appointed one guardian. And he tried to buy the shares through the guardian. And if the shares are partly paid up, guardian is responsible there. Guardian took all the responsibility, everything he taken. The question over here is, forget about the liability, but the question is whether this transfer is valid or not valid. That was the question. Actually, this point already I have discussed that a minor cannot apply for the shares as being the original subscriber, but if somebody is transferring the shares and the shares are approved as the transfer, can later on company reject it, stating that you are a minor and we want to take your shares back. Through the guardian, minor obtained certain shares as being the transfer, but later on Bennett Coleman and Company Limited in the year of 1972 when realized that actually minor applied for the transfer through his guardian, and company was not aware that actually guardian is not the shareholder, the real shareholder is the minor. After getting to know about this, company rejected the entire application and withdrawn the shares back. cancel the transfer. After approving the transfer, company cancelled it. That's what the interesting fact over here. Already transfer is approved by the company. Later on, just because the transfer was minor through guardian, of course, can company withdraw the transfer? Answer the question. Company claimed that actually this transfer is altogether void. He voided because he was a minor. Is this withdrawal valid? Answer to this question will be no, this withdrawal is not valid. This withdrawal is not valid. भाई क्यों valid नहीं है? Simple सा reason है. Minor is transferee and according to the law, he can definitely become. Even on the partly paid up shares, he is not liable. So company should have thought it before allowing the transfer. Once the transfer is allowed, students later on nothing can happen. Okay, तब पछताने से क्या भयो? जब anyone can complete this? तब पछताने से क्या भय जब oh god, no one knows Hindi, huh? Particularly those students who applied for जब चिड़िया oh god, no one knows. Yeah, जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत. Yes, yes, yes. Some students are still there. All right. Next case over here is okay. Are you clear with Miss Nandita Jain versus Bennett Coleman and Company Limited? Appeal number 27. Is it clear to all of you? Very good. Next case about the minor over here is the Sadiq Ali versus Joy Kishori, 1928 Bombay Court. Bombay Court. What happened over here is that there was one person, let's say here, Ishika. Ishika applied for the share by misquoting her age. Actually, she's 16, but fraudulently she told, misrepresented her age, stating that she is 19. And company believed in this and allotted the shares. Allotted the shares. Now, just like the partnership, in the partnership, when the minor partner becomes major, he is given an opportunity that whether you want to continue as a member or you want to quit it. Do you know that? Hmm? आप जानते हैं? He's given these two options, either you continue or you quit. Same like that here, even the member when he attains age of majority, he has these two options. Either he can continue as a member or he can surrender the shares. Both the options are available. So Ishika, who obtained the shares by misrepresenting her age, later on she wants to terminate the contract after attaining the majority, stating that now she doesn't want to continue. So can company say no, 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 once you represented yourself as a major, we considered you as a member, so now you are a member and you are liable for the remaining liability. Ishika said, how can I be held liable? I was 16 when I made the contract, and after attaining majority I don't want to continue. So here the question is whether Ishika is liable who misrepresented her age for the liability of the company. Are you clear with this entire question? First of all, hello? Are you clear with the question? All of you? Clear, na? All right. So answer the question. क्या होगा यहाँ पे? क्या होगा यहाँ पे? Is she liable? Answer to this question is no, she is not liable because minor can always plead his minority. So it is the company's duty to inquire before allotting the shares what is the actual age of the shareholder. Later on this argument that sorry I was not aware and we did not make the proper inquiry will not benefit the company. All right. So these two are the important cases, guys. Please note it down. Please note it down and type the word done. Then I will go to the next explanation about the membership. Come on. Done, very good. Look, all those students who were absent since a lot of days, my question is, students, why you are not attending regularly? May I know the reason? Huh? My main question is there anything what you don't like about this, about the teaching or something like? Then you can share your feedback with me. If you are not comfortable with the teaching, we can change the faculty as well, including myself. Comfortable doesn't mean the entertainment, okay? Comfortable does not mean entertainment, okay? If any student is expecting fun and all that, बेटा वो तो नहीं होने वाला है. एक बात समझो. Explanation and understanding was if you are not comfortable, you can share your opinions. कि भाई मजा नहीं आ रहा है या slow चल रहा है समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. You cannot relate to the content. But if you're serious about your study and seriously you want to complete your study, then this pattern is very weird. Sometimes you come, sometimes you don't come. Maybe many of you are thinking, sir, don't worry, sir, we have recordings. Now. At the end, we will do everything. Put your hand on your heart and tell me truth. At the end, really recordings will be helpful. Sachi sachi bata. There will be the huge pile to complete. There will be huge piles of recordings. कितना करोगे? पूरा सी इंटर अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा होके जितना हो रहा है slowly we are trying to do this, then try to complete it, beta. All right, if you're serious about your study, please complete it. Try to be a good chartered accountant. I don't want my students to get struggled for 50,000, for 70,000. And trust me, if you will not focus on your career today, finding the job would be difficult. Yeah, if your parents are really that much, they have that potential that they can make you to find the job, then there is no problem. But if you want to do something on your own without taking the help of anyone, including your parents, including your relatives, then prove yourself. And this is the great opportunity you have opted for. But some students, I'm sorry to say, but I cannot see that much seriousness on your face. The way you had showed, the way you showed in CA Foundation, it is lacking here. It is lacking here. Study is just like the cricket match. From the day one, if you are in the form, and if that form is continued, you can play, you can bat very well. But you were in the form at the beginning, suddenly you went down. Trust me, guys, again, getting the form is very difficult. Study follows certain patterns. Did you observe that when you are in the form, you can complete a lot of revisions? But when you are not in form, reading one page is very hectic. Did you ever observe this kind of situation? When you're in the form, you can complete a lot of subjects, a lot of chapters together. But small break, pattern is broken, rhythm is broken. Then reading two pages is very hectic for you. So that's what my request is. Don't break the rhythm, beta. Establishment of rhythm is the God's blessing. And don't do that. Yes, Meenakshi, I just taken your request and I will share it. No problem. Right now you take down all the notes what I'm presenting in the class, and I will do that. Okay, thank you. All right, let's continue with our study back, students. Let's come to this part now, the next explanation. So minor is completed. Now next is the insolvent. Now this is very interesting. Can insolvent become a member in the company? Now, if you just study the entire process of the insolvency, there are 2 points. Look how the insolvency starts. So first of all, there is application of insolvency. After the application, there is the order passed by the court. Then process of liquidation starts. Process of liquidation, I think all of you are aware of where all your assets are taken by official receiver and he's trying to auction, he's trying to, the collect all the cash and he's trying to distribute that cash among the creditors. That is known as the process of liquidation here. And it may take a lot of time, maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, God knows how large your estate is. And after auctioning and selling everything, court will discharge you from the insolvent. So you understand this process has some period. You focus on this process. This process starts with the application and it gets ended when you are getting discharged by the court. So there are two kinds of insolvency concept. You try to understand. The first one, during this period, during this period, during this period. And second one is during this period. So here you are considered as what kind of insolvent? What kind of insolvent? Write down. Here you are considered as undischarged insolvent. Undischarged insolvent. However, once the process is completed, you are discharged but insolvent. Are you getting my point? You are totally discharged but also considered as insolvent by honorable court. So try to understand here, during the process of insolvency, can you apply for the new shares? That is the first question. Second question is, after completion of the process, can you apply for new shares, or can you be the member in the company? So try to understand, guys, undischarged insolvent is strictly prohibited to be the member in the company. But once the process is completed, obviously you can become member in the company, because after discharging, it is just like your incarnation. Incarnation in the sense like you are just like it's a new birth. Okay, you are a free man now, no any liabilities, nothing, everything is cleared by the court, and now you can very well apply for that. All right, I hope it is clear. Discharge versus undischarge, huh? Insolvency. So write down over here, note for insolvency here. Note for insolvency. Undischarged insolvent cannot become member in the company during his insolvency process. However, He can become member in the company once he is discharged by the court. Once he is discharged by the court. All so that is about insolvency. Okay, next point over here is about a pawning. Before I go with the pawning concept, confirm that all of you know what do you mean by pawning? Hello? Pawning से आपका मतलब क्या होता है? Do you know that? Pawning means pledging. Pledging means what? Pawning means what and pledging means what? Can you tell me? Yeah. Hmm. What do you mean by pawning and pledging? Where the goods are pledged. So sometimes what happens, we pledge our shares, and we take the loans, and that lender sold our shares. Or actually what happens, you understand. Suppose I need funds. So I went to pledge the brother, I need certain funds. So he asked me for security, whether gold or the shares or the FD. So I gave my shares. But today ponies are very smart. Ponies are very, very smart. With the share certificates, they also keep the share transfer form signed in advance. Signed in advance. The transferor already signs. In case if I don't pay my money on time, Pony will put his signature as being transferee and will get the share transferred in his name. My question is it a fraud? Is it a fraud? Already he takes the transfer form in advance, and if I don't pay, he just puts his name as being transferee and get all the shares in his name. So is it really a fraud? क्या ये fraud है? बिल्कुल नहीं बेटा. It is just a normal simple transaction, just like if I have taken a car and if I don't pay my EMIs on time, the bank officers come and take away my car. It is a simple process. But can it be done without issuing any notice to me? If you remember in CA Foundation, we had a lot of situations like this, that it is the special property. Special property means you have the interest. You have interest in the property. So if that property you want to sell, you don't require my consent, but you require notice. You have to notify me first of all. That look, Mr. Chirag, this is enough now. You have not paid the amount, and if you don't pay me my amount within upcoming 7 days, then we are going to sell your shares, or we are going to sell your asset, or we are going to sell your property. So in the Poniwala case, only one thing is required. If you want to get the shares in your name as being transferred, only one condition, and that is you have to notify me. Without issuing any notice, you cannot do that. You are not allowed to do that. You cannot do that. उसके अलावा आप नहीं कर सकते. All of you are clear what I am trying to say here? Hello? All right. So in the Pony case, write in the note for that for your exam, students. All right. So first point, just is a pony. He doesn't have any right on that. He doesn't have any right on that. Right. Uh-oh, wait. So technically, pony doesn't get any right in the shares. Okay. Now, in the Pawnee case, we have one beautiful case study. The case name is right on over here. It is the case of 1985 Supreme Court. I'm really shocked why this case went to Supreme Court. Right, in the case name over here is Bala Krishna Gupta versus Swadeshi Polytechs Limited 1985. All right. The case name about the Pawnee is Bala Krishna Gupta versus Swadeshi Polytechs Limited 1985 Supreme Court. Now, it is a common sense. I do not know why these people could not understand this small thing. You tell me, if I have given my share certificates to Pawnee, I have pledged my shares with the Pawnee. Who is a member? Whether Pawnee is a member or Mr. Chirag is a member. What do you think? Who is a member? Are you able to understand this logic? Huh? Guys, this simple matter went to Supreme Court. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This matter went to Supreme Court. Okay, write in the note for that. Actually, what was the case in this and how it was judged? Write down over here. It went like this. So in this case, actually what happened that a pledge differs from a mortgage. In view of the above, a pawnee cannot be treated as the holder of the shares pledged in his favor, and the pawner continues to be a member and can exercise the rights of a member. So I think you understood what was the dispute. What was the dispute, right? Pawnee claimed that as the shares are right now pledged with me, so I want to enjoy all the rights, like I want to attend the meeting, I want to get the divisions, I want to get all the bonus shares issue, everything. But I'm sorry to say it's not allowed, it's not available. इतनी छोटी सी बात इन लोगों के भेजे में नहीं गई थी, इतनी छोटी सी बात. God knows why. इतना छोटा सा बात they went to Supreme Court. All right. After then, I would like to go with the next point, and that's about the official receiver. Can official receiver receiver? Now, here you understand what do you mean by receiver here. Can receiver be considered as member of the company? So again, it is about the insolvency. You tell me one thing that can insolvent continue to be a member of the company? Look, again, you come to the insolvency part of how the things are happening. Application was made to court, court passed the order, process of liquidation, and then at the end, he is discharged. I'm not talking about buying the new shares. I'm talking about the shares which are already in the position with insolvent. Already it is in his possession. So can he continue to be the member of the company? Can he continue to be the member of the company? What do you think about it? Can he continue to be a member of the company? Why? I think you are forgetting one thing. Again, you see, if I talk about the shares, first of all, it is in the name of insolvent. Then these shares will be transferred. Not a transfer, I'm sorry. I have used the wrong word. It will be transmitted in the name of official receiver, and then from official receiver, it will go to the buyer. Are you able to understand all these changes now? Insolvent, then transmitted to official receiver, and then to the buyer. But did you see all these transmission, there will be some gap of times. If you just read this carefully, you can just understand that insolvent to official receiver doesn't happen instantly. Did you observe? It does not happen instantly. There is some time. Again, if you talk about your official receiver to buyer, there is some time. There is some time. So what I'm trying to say, can this undischarged insolvent enjoy the membership right? Answer will be absolutely yes. So one thing I did not tell about the insolvent, and that is that insolvent can enjoy membership right until the shares are transmitted to official receiver. Make sense or not? Hello? Obviously yes. So till this, who will enjoy the membership right? You can simply write here. All right, write down over here. Till this situation here, insolvent can enjoy. Once official receiver appointed by the court, after then who will enjoy the membership? Official receiver. And once official receiver sells these shares to the buyer, after then who will enjoy the membership? Buyer. So technically speaking, already held shares, insolvent is a member of the company, even if he's not discharged. After then, official receiver will become a member. So here it is the question that can official receiver be considered as member? So here the point is official receiver can become member of the company only once the shares are transmitted. Write down over here. Only once, only once, only once shares are transmitted. Not before that. Not before that. Are you getting my point? Sir, on what basis is the official receiver is appointed? It is the court's officer. Sometimes chartered accountants who has the degree of bankruptcy code, insolvency in the bankruptcy code, and has very good experience to handle the insolvency process, and he is in the list of the court. He may also be appointed on the order of court. Court can order. Court can order. Got it? And for the valuation, but I'm sorry, you understand? Official receiver, it is designation in the court. Pura process समझो, I need to go in detail. Official receiver, it is actually a designation in the court. Just like the Chief Justice. And under official receiver, there are a lot of chartered accountants registered. Lot of chartered accountants registered. So court tells official receiver that go and liquidate the assets. What do you think? One official receiver is sufficient to handle thousands of queries of insolvency, thousands of applications of insolvency? ऐसा नहीं होता. So official receiver is actually the designation in the government. Got it? All of you clear what I'm trying to say about this receiver wala part? Hello? I hope it is clear to all of you, right? Next part is about the trade union. Next part here is about the trade union. Can trade union be considered as, or they can, okay, just to रिसीवर में मैंने वो केस समझा दिया आपको, बालाकृष्ण सुप्रीम कोर्ट वो केस करवा दिया. सॉरी, बालाकृष्ण तो उसका था, अपना पौनी वाला केस था, पौनी वाला केस था. All right. Next point over here it is trade union. So what do you think about the trade union? Can trade union become member in the company? So there are You know, trade unions are random organizations or they are registered organizations. My question is whether trade unions have any kind of separate legal existence. Understand, guys, the trade unions, if you're asking me, the trade unions, they have registration under the Trade Unions Act. All right. So all the trade unions have registration. They are actually the registered entity. And that is why they have the separate legal existence. And as they have the separate legal existence, of course, yes, they can become the member in the company. So yes, they are allowed. So where will they be registered, sir? So there is the Trade Union Act. If you want to see the name of that act, let me just show you. Just a second. Let me get the year and all that. Yes. Write down the name of the Trade Union Act if you want to know. It is Trade Union Act 1926. Got it, Meenakshi? Trade Union Act 1926. No trade union will be considered as official until, look, I'm not talking about the labor union. I'm talking about the trade unions. Have you ever heard about that Gujarat Chambers of Commerce, like that? Cloth Merchant Association, Steel Merchant Association. Have you ever heard about those kind of associations? They are actually formed to protect the interest of the industry if there's any governmental decision. Recently, you see a lot of chaos is happening regarding the cloth GST, and in this meeting, the government of India increased it up to 12% GST on the cloth. So your shirts and the t-shirts are now going to be more expensive. Got it? It's going to be more expensive. तो बात आप समझो कि they can be formed and now they are raising the voice against finance minister. All right. Oh, fine. Let's go to the next point. By the way, after trade union, I want to talk about the trust. What about the trust? So again, guys, if you ask me about the trust can be bifurcated into two parts. The first is registered trust and second is the unregistered trust, which has the separate legal existence. If you ask me about the trust, oh, just a second. Trust can be bifurcated into two parts. The first is the registered and second is the unregistered. All right. So unregistered trust, right on over here, no legal existence. Registered trust, of course, it has the legal existence. Registered trust has the legal existence. Unregistered trust does not have legal existence. So registered trust can become member in the company. Unregistered trust can not become. Easy? Hello. Are you there? Please respond if you are there. All right, after then, the next point is about the GDR, but the GDR is a very, very long discussion. But before that, one more point I want to discuss over here, and that is about the joint members. Joint members. Before I go with the GDR, let's understand about the joint members. Joint members. In the joint members, we have certain questions. Tell me, when there are joint members, you understand? Suppose A, B, C, D, E, they are applying the shares in the joint names. So how many membership will be allotted? Will they be considered as 5 different members, or it will be only one membership? It's a joint membership. Tell me, how will you go about this? So understand, joint membership, no matter how many people are there, they will be considered as one member only. They will be considered as one member only. All right. So GDR, it takes a lot of time. So my request is, would you like to take 5 minutes break before I go, or shall I continue? By the way, I like the rhythm today. There are a good number of students. Thank you. And but please be serious, beta. If you have any problem, देखो आज, let me be very frank with all of you guys. If you people have any problem, what you can't share to anyone, please open up yourself and try to discuss with me. कुछ प्रॉब्लम है कहीं पे भी, टीचिंग से रिलेटेड कुछ भी, tell me, because this entire program is for your welfare. This entire program, look, we are not here just to teach and take the money and all that. If we are failing to produce the good results, this entire program's mission will fail. I am also part of this mission. Sunil sir is also part of this mission, and even you people are also part of this mission, beta. So where is the problem? Please let us know. दिक्कत कहाँ आ रही है? Mutually we can work it out. You can't concentrate, you can't remember, you can't prepare for the subject, you can't understand, you are serious but you can't focus. Problem, where is the problem? If you think that you should share with us, please let us know. By anyhow, I cannot tolerate to suffer this program just because of lack of seriousness and the sincereness. ऐसा मत करो बच्चे. Okay? Enjoy your 5 minutes. Thank you. All right, so welcome back, students. Are we good to go? Please confirm now. If you are here, we can just start the discussion. Hello. We can start the discussion. Are you here, all of you? Okay, I hope you have enjoyed your break. So now the next concept over here is about the GDR holder after joint members. Before I start the GDR holder, what do you mean by GDR and whether GDR holder can be considered as member of the company or not? That is a very interesting point and the interesting question here. Okay, so let's talk straightforward about the different concepts. The first is the shares, then ADR. What is the full form of ADR? Anyone knows about it? I'm damn sure इतना तो मालूम होगा ही आपको. ADR का मतलब क्या होता है? What do you mean by ADR? What do you mean by ADR? American Depository Receipts. Very good. What is GDR? Full form बताओ. Full form बताओ. GDR का. What do you mean by GDR? All right. Global Depository. Okay. What is IDR then? Ah, bhai, maza. What is IDR then? Answer the question. Answer the question. I want to check that how many of you have. Okay. What is then JDR? What is then CDR? What is then PDR? Now I think students are confused. ये क्या निकल के आए sir? All right, all right, all right. Let me tell you about all this. All right. So till IDR, all of you know about it. JDR means Japan Depository Receipt. CDR means China Depository Receipt. PDR means Pakistani Depository Receipt. Are you getting the entire thing? DR. Depository Receipt. But the main fundamental question here is what is depository concept? So all the students who attended the yesterday's question or yesterday's session, I told you what is the depository. Okay, who handles depository in India? There were two companies which are handling depositories in India. Can you just name those two companies? There are two companies which are handling depositories in India. What those two are? NSDL, very good. दूसरा क्या था? CDSL. So depository, it is nothing but that software which is used in stock market. Software which is used in stock market, isn't it? Hello? Depository is nothing but the software what is used in the stock market. Different brokers are applying to get the license, and once they get the license, they can allow their customers to get the shares traded in the stock market. So all these brokers technically are known as what? Yesterday I just spoke about it. Answer the question. All these brokers are technically known as what? Yesterday I talked about it. Can I say all these brokers technically known as depository participants? All of them are known as depository participants. All of you clear to this? Fine. So if I remove the debentures, then look how the things are happening. So first of all, depository, and second is the security. Particularly, I'm talking about the capital security. Capital security is known as what? Capital security is known as what, students? Capital security is known as shares, and debt security is known as what? Debentures. So how the shares ADR, GDR, IDR are different, that we have to learn, because until you are clear with this, This topic you cannot dare to touch it. Okay, so let's talk about it. Shares का मतलब क्या होता है? Shares means Indian stock market and Indian company. हाँ है ना? Come on. What is the share? Shares means Indian company, Indian stock market. So that is called shares as per the investment market. As per the investment market. I hope you can follow what I'm trying to say. So depository is Indian, company is also Indian. Indian company. What is American depository receipt? What is American depository receipt? Look, many people are saying, sir, American depository means American stock exchange and American company. Is it really ADR for Indians? This concept really matters for us. Guys, it is again for shares for America. So this answer is incorrect. And even we should not focus why we are learning ADR in our Indian market. ऐसा नहीं है guys. So ADR means depository is American, but company is Indian. Are you getting my point? Hello? Are you getting my point? That is what concern to us. Indian company when gets registered under any American stock exchange, that becomes ADR. I hope it's not heavy. I think you can understand what I'm trying to say. Next concept what I have, GDR. GDR I want to keep at the end, not right now. Next is what is IDR? Indian depository. So name itself says depository is Indian now. And now many students are saying, sir, Indian depository and Indian capital security. So it is not IDR. If Indian company is getting registered under Indian depository, that becomes shares. That becomes shares. So understand Indian depository, but if any foreign company gets registered under Indian depository, then that we cannot call as a shares. वो shares नहीं है. Are you understanding? That's not the shares. That is known as IDR. That's known as IDR. Same way, if there is Japanese depository, but if any Indian company is getting registered there, then that is known as JDR. Same way, Chinese depository, but if any Indian company getting registered there, that will be called as CDR. Same way, Pakistan Stock Exchange, but if any Indian company is registered over there, it is called PDR. I hope you people are clear with all the concepts of ADR, IDR, JDR, blah 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 blah, lot of things जो हमने कई बार पढ़ी थी मेरे हिसाब से. Clear हो यहाँ तक? Basically, it is the finance instrument, and that's why I don't want to talk a lot on this. If you want to learn more about it, refer to your financial management concept. Now come to this GDR part. GDR के part को पूरा. GDR part is very interesting. Global depository receipts. Global means what? Global means what? First of all, is it about GDR? Is it about Indian company or the foreign company? Understand? It is about Indian company or the foreign company. It is about foreign company. If it is about foreign company, why we have made the separate provision about GDR in our syllabus? Huh? Why we are learning about that foreign entity which is not concerned with India? You are wrong, students. Understand, it is Indian shares or Indian capital security. When gets registered under not at one stock exchange but multiple stock market, multiple depositories. Is it possible that one security can be traded in multiple stock exchanges? That is also globally. Same security is trading in American stock exchange as well as the same securities getting traded in the European markets. When this kind of arrangement is made that one security is allowed to be traded in multiple securities at the same time, then that security doesn't become now shares or ADR. That becomes what, students? Answer the question. That becomes what? GDR. So GDR is acceptable in more than one country, more than one stock exchanges, whether online format or physical format, that depends upon the agreement between the countries. But how it happens, let me tell you. So there are unions of countries called consortium. So these consortiums are actually meeting every year, and they have the mutual agreements. For example, India has the agreement with the European markets as well as the American markets that if certain conditions are followed, then Indian company security should be allowed to be traded in multiple countries of Europe as well as America. So we have this kind of treaties, international agreements with a lot of countries. And if all the GDR rules, international rules as well as Indian rules, are followed strictly with discipline, then Indian companies' shares can be traded in multiple countries at the same time. And then it is not Indian share anymore. That becomes what, student? Answer the question. That becomes what? GDR. And GDR holder is allowed to trade that security in multiple stock exchange without any restriction. That's called GDR. That's called GDR. Are you clear with the concept, all of you? Are you clear with the concept? I hope you should, right? So, write down the meaning of GDR first of all. The meaning of GDR is not explained anywhere. So, this meaning, what I'm presenting over here, that is according to the, what I can say, the investment market. All right, investment market. Write down meaning of GDR. There can be GDRs belong to other country, but other countries' GDRs, why should we learn? We will learn about that kind of GDRs where Indian companies involved and its security is getting traded in multiple stock markets at the same time. All right. Write down about this. Just a second. Just a second. Is that great ideas? These notes are not available in the material also, but it is just sake of your knowledge if you want to learn about it. Take it. Look at this. Okay, once it is done, type the word done, then I will start now our lawful provision. Come on. Very good. All right. Now, already this question was there in exam for many attempts about GDR. So do not take it lightly. Okay. How will we go about this? First of all, I will just discuss in brief and then I will give you the notes on that. This is how this entire topic is going to be completed. So multiple stock markets, right? Basically, banks are trading these kinds of GDRs if they want to make the international currency exchange. GDR is a good source for exchanging this. Okay, let's begin with this particular point now. The first question is how to issue GDR by Indian companies. How the GDRs get issued to by Indian companies. All right, so first of all, there are certain rules, guys, right down. Let's say there is a company called Infosys Limited, and if this company wants to issue GDR, what process it needs to follow? So the first process is write down over here permission, or instead of permission, let me use the word like power in articles of association. Second, guys, company will call the board meeting. Company will call the board meeting, and it will discuss the matter that how they want to go. Once the board meeting is called up, do you really think that it can be issued without taking the consent of shareholders? Because Indian company is going to raise the funds from the foreign market. So obviously Indian shareholders somewhere is going to be affected, isn't it? Their voting rights and a lot of things. Come on. If Indian company is raising the capital funds from the international markets, can't they say that actually Indian company is creating competitors for the Indian shareholders? So somewhere Indian shareholders are going to be affected. And that's why the law says you need to pass the resolution. You need to pass a resolution for this. And the nature of resolution over here is the special resolution. You have to pass. So these are the three requirements as per the Articles of Association. Very easy. Look, a lot of things are written over here, but I want to make it summarized. And whatever I'm explaining over here, that is as per, write down, that is as per the company's issue of GDR rules, GDR rules 2014. All right. Once it is done, so wow, now what is the process? Special resolution is taken, everything is done. Once you have completed this, you have taken care of the Companies Act. But can I say that a lot of foreign exchanges are involved? A lot of receipt of foreign exchanges involved in this. And whenever the foreign exchange is involved, which act you need to follow? Can I say along with this, you will have to also take care about these two important act, RBI Act plus RBI guidelines plus FEMA. All of you know about FEMA? May I know the full form of FEMA, students? Full form of FEMA? Very good. Okay, so this is the Summarized format. Look, actually the pages are 1.5 pages are there, but I am summarizing this so that these notes can be helpful at the time while you're revising this. Okay. So RBI Act plus RBI guidelines plus FEMA you need to focus on. Now you understand if today Reliance Industries, let's say Mukesh Ambani, shouting a lot in the European market, I am Mukesh Ambani of India and I want to get the money from your country. Do you really think that foreign investors will get pleased by that, huh? Let me tell you one of the interesting fact about it. Recently, I was working on one project in my practice, and that project was about the international accounting. You won't believe, but in the international market, there are a lot of people who want to, outsource their accounting work to Indian accountants. Why? Indian accountants are very cheap in labor. For example, if they are paying $100, Indians are ready to complete the same job with quality just by charging 20 or $30. So they can save $70. So we called the lot of consultants and a lot of customers and the clients of Australia, Canada, and what reply and the response we got in return, they said that why should we give why we should not give the first opportunity to our country people, because during Corona a lot of their citizens have lost the job, so we want to give the first preference to them. So not only Indians are patriotic, such countries people are also patriotic. Are you getting me what I'm trying to say? And hence it is very difficult to manipulate their brain. If you are just sending the 200 emails or the 500 emails, hardly you get one lead. That is how it is happening in the international market. So based upon that fact, if today even Mr. Mukesh Ambani himself goes to foreign markets and says that, ladies and gentlemen, I am the managing director of the Reliance Geo Communication Limited and I want to get the investments from you, please start investing in my company. Do you really think that it's going to work? Huh? Do you really think that it's going to work? क्या लगता है आपको? ऐसे मुकेश भाई के चिल्लाने से पैसा आएगा मार्केट में? Answer will be no. People will not do that. And if you are following the marketing strategy, what strategy you would have followed? Can I say Mukesh Ambani will not go himself because that doesn't make much difference. Doesn't make much difference. Mr. Mukesh Ambani should hire someone who is very much known as well as very much local to that foreign markets. Isn't it? Hello? Can I say that Mr. Mukesh Ambani must have to appoint someone who is very much known, very much popular, very much reputed in that particular country, upon whom the people of that country should rely. And that is why it is written, students, that Indian companies, according to Section 62 and following other things, they have to hire one bank. And this bank is known as, write down, it's very important, appoint, appointment and contract with, write down, depository, sorry, not depository, overseas depository bank, which is also known as custodian bank. We have to check the list that federal bank is the central bank of that particular country, has given the license to how many other banks which are involved in GDR market. So all those which are involved in that GDR market, we have to find the list and try to contact them and verify the quality, verify more good services, make the contract with them, pay them commission, and tell them that you are the people we are hiring for this depository issue. Try to convince the foreign investors. Got it? Next point is, as per the contract, this custodian bank or this overseas depository bank, this will start process of issuing GDR as per that particular country's, as per that particular country's rules. Because in India we have Companies Act. for the prospectus. The same way, different country has the different rules regarding prospectus, right? So they will start advertising, they will start issuing the prospectus, they will start convincing the people. Now they will issue GDRs and will collect the proceeds. Proceeds in the sense money. Now this is very interesting. The money what is actually received from these people, where it needs to be kept. If you are an Indian company, my question is, can you rely on the foreign bank or you should rely on home country bank? Batao, which country you should rely upon? Obviously home country's bank. And don't think, look, State Bank of India, HDFC, ICICI like banks have now the international branches as well. You can very much find over there. So what is written over here, according to RBI guidelines, according to the rules, the proceeds what is collected cannot be kept in any foreign bank account, but it shall be kept, it shall be deposited in any branch of Indian bank, which is there. Write down for them, in case no branch is available, then it shall be deposited into any foreign to branch of any foreign bank scheduled by Reserve Bank of India. So it is not like always Indian banks are scheduled, but there can be any foreign bank which may be scheduled by Reserve Bank of India. So you have to take the list and you have to tell that custodian bank that all the proceeds what you have collected, please deposit that in any bank which is connected with RBI or which is connected with India. Don't put this money on any foreign bank. Why? If it is put in any foreign bank, foreign government has the control over that, what we do not want to tolerate. We do not want to tolerate. All right, after that, overseas depository bank will issue GDR certificates, or not GDR certificates, GDR itself to GDR holders. GDR holders. All right. Are you clear with the entire process now? Look, actually, there are a lot of things written, but I have just summarized the entire thing. Come on. Clear with this? Very good. Next very important question is, madam, can GDR holder go for voting rights? Can he go for voting rights? Can he go for voting rights? So voting rights of GDR holders. And another question over here is, are GDR holders members of company? Are GDR holders members of company? Are GDR holders members of company? So write down, my dear students, if you look at the company's register of members, name of GDR holders is not mentioned. not mentioned there. Name of GDR holders, not mentioned there. Then whose name will be there? Write down. Register of members of company shall contain whose name? Shall contain whose name? Write down. Register of membership of company will contain the name of Overseas Depository Bank. So can I say that directly the name of GDR holders is not mentioned? Because in international market, who is buying the GDRs, who is selling the GDRs? Is it in the control of Indian company? Is it in the control of Indian company? It is possible to control that flows? No. So why every day the register of membership needs to be changed? So just like the DP, all the students who attended the yesterday's class, they know in listed company, register of membership doesn't contain the name of shareholders, beneficial owners, but depository participants' names are included. So same way over here, register of membership of company will not contain the name of GDR holders, but it will contain the name of ODP. So can I say indirectly that ODB, it is just like the representative of all GDR holders. Hello, all GDR holders. So now guys, write down over here that dividends will not be given to GDR holders, but dividends will be given to, answer the question, dividend will be paid to whom? Dividends will be paid to ODB, and then ODB will further distribute that to GDR holders. Are you getting my point? Everything is getting done. Everything is getting done through ODB. So ODB is totally what? Middleman, the mediator. Same way, what about the general meeting? So even the notices shall be sent. Notice of general meeting shall be given to Overseas Depository Bank, and later on, ODB will send this to GDR holders. Who will attend the meeting? So again, write down general meeting shall be attended by whom? GDR holders or ODB? It will be attended by Overseas Depository Bank. And even votings will be done by ODB. What am I trying to say, guys? If you check it over here, everything would be enjoyed by ODB, not by GDR holders. And that's why, guys, answer to this question, that are GDR holders members of the company? The answer to this question is right now straightforward. No, they are. They are not. Are you getting my point? So GDR holders, even if they are just like the shareholders, they are the same capital contributors just like the shareholders, but still they don't have any voting rights. They are not members of company. They are not members of company. Are you understanding what am I trying to say here? Hello? You can type the word clear. I know just 1 minute is left. Will ODB charge any commissions? Or obviously yes. That's what I told. As per the everything will happen according to the contract. Because in this world, no one does anything free of charge. कोई मुफ्त में कुछ नहीं करता. ठीक है? Now just one question is, what is the condition if GDR holders want to enjoy the voting rights? What is the condition? Only one condition is there, and that condition is convert GDRs back to shares as per articles of association. Okay? Once they again become shareholders, and if this provision is there in the articles of association, obviously they can convert back to shareholders, right? Because they are just like the international shareholders. So once they are shareholders, that means now they are just obtaining the shares of the company, and the shares are getting traded only in Indian market. Then they can get the voting rights. Then they get personal come to India. They can enjoy the dividends and everything. So I hope you have enjoyed the beautiful part of the GDRs. Very interesting and very informative. Got it? Anyone knows how to share the material in this WebEx? I'm very much disappointed. In Zoom, it is there, but here it is not there. Coffee disappointment हुआ ये. All right, guys, that's all for the day. Thank you very much. You can leave now. Bye bye.